All right, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, kwam yasha'Allah. First and foremost, man, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Chodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do teach well, that do rule well, that have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom unto the hopeful elect, kwam yasha'Allah, and above all. All right, I want to start off with Romans chapter 13:11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And true. How do you know the time? How do you know the time? You got to go into the scriptures, and when you go into the scriptures, you're going to find something called prophecy. And who's bringing out the prophecy, and who's telling the time? The prophets. And the prophets, they're out there on the highways and byways and hedges, and they're making these videos. They're on the internet, they're on social media, week in and week out, man. And they're putting themselves out there. That's the prophets. That starts with Great Millstone, with the elders and apostles, the men on down like myself, going into prophecy, going into Isaiah 8:20, man. Speaking according to the law and to the testimony. The law and the testimony come out of the book. And that testimony deals with prophecy. You know, and prophecy does go into the law, because the reason why you're going to go through hell in the future is because you broke the law. Starting with the nation of Israel and these other nations, man. You have transgressed and you've went against Yahweh Bashem Yoshai and his laws, man. So it says that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. And a lot of you people, you're sleeping because you think the Lord ain't moving. You think that nothing's happening, when prophecy is happening every single day. There's always something in the news or in the world especially that is showing you that the Lord is moving, that the Bible is real, that the prophecies are always coming to pass. So the ones of you that think nothing's happening, you're asleep, and really you're a part of the congregation of the dead, pursuant to the book of Proverbs, man. Especially our people, man. 2/3, man. You're asleep and you ain't gonna make it. Well, that's okay. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And that's true. And you can see it in the current events that go into prophecy. Man, all of this is showing you that the Lord is on his way. And it's very close that he's going to come back. It's right around the corner. Right? It's right around the corner. You know, though it tarry, wait for it, in Habakkuk 2:3. Hey man, all of this is pointing to a full-blown World War III, a hot World War III. Right now we're in a cold World War III, but this could escalate into a hot World War III. Look at these titles. This just happened yesterday. This happened Tuesday. Talking about peace talks, about ending the war. It seems like they don't really want to do that, when that's what they're telling the world that they want to do, but they don't want to do that. And then look what happens the next day. Flirting with World War III. Russia says nuclear plant targeted in massive Ukrainian drone attack. Do you know how serious this is? Yeah, you got to chime on that. Yeah, you know how serious this is? This is very serious. Because if this were to go down, let's just say if Ukraine was successful in blowing up that nuclear power plant, in my opinion, I really think that Vladimir Putin would respond by sending a nuke, by shooting a nuke off, man. And then all hell would break loose. And I was thinking about Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, and the 4th verse on down. Putting hooks in thy jaw, man. To reel them into that World War III, to shoot their missiles on these different nations, starting with America and Israel, man. Right? So, hey, man, prophecy is fulfilling every day. It's just that a lot of you people are asleep, thinking that everything's okay, because you can go to Starbucks, you can go to Timmy's, telling you can go to work, you can go to the sex club, or whatever the hell you do, man, on your leisure time. Just because you can do those things, you think everything's okay and that the Lord is not moving. Well, you forget, man, a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. Right? So he's moving on his time. He's not going to move like how we move walking about here on earthly time. He's moving on divine God time. So it may seem like things are not happening, but things are really moving. Things are going fast, and it's getting faster and faster and faster. We're at the end. If you can't see that, you're a part of the congregation of the dead, and you're asleep. You're asleep. You are asleep. Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Beautiful. And the Lord is a power that cannot lie, and his word will come to pass, whether you believe it or not. It's just that it has an appointment date, right? But it will speak, and that's true, man. The Bible will speak for itself. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai will speak for itself. We're just here to deliver you the message. And that's what the prophets are doing, man. Pursuant to Isaiah 8 and 20. If they don't speak according to the law and to the testimony, there is no light in them. And that's what the prophets are coming in. They're coming in to the law and to the testimony, which the testimony goes into prophecy, man. Them giving you a record of the past and a record of what's going to happen if you don't get right in the future. Right? If you don't get right now, they're going to tell you what's going to happen in the future, which you're going to be destroyed. All right. Since I brought that out, let's get Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what the prophets are going to do, man. They're going to tell you, they're going to tell you of things that are going to happen in the future, and usually it's bad things. Woe is me. You know, they're talking about destruction. Yeah. Prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. Aren't we telling you that these great kingdoms like America, Russia, Israel, they're all going to fall? China, they're all going to fall by nuclear destruction? Hell, it says of war. What is war going into? World War III, man. Going into the war of Ukraine versus Russia. Yeah, that war. Talking about evil, bad times like AI, Akasha Society, the MOTB, civil unrest, martial law, pestilences, like these different plagues, these different diseases, and also going into nuclear destruction, because that's a plague and a pestilence within itself. That fire is going to devour a large portion of the earth, starting with the Western world, aka America. Verse 9, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly sent him. Beautiful. And you know what that reminds me of? In that day the people will be willing in the day of thy power. Yeah, you people are only going to believe it when things come to pass, when the Lord demonstrates his power. Then you're going to realize that the prophet was right. But you know what? When you realize that the prophet was right, when you realize that the message of the Lord was true, and that the Lord is not playing around, it's going to be too late for you to get right. The doors of probation are going to be closed. And you know what that means? It's your ass. You're going to be judged. A lot of you people aren't going to make it. Because the time for you to understand is now. And a lot of you are just too hard-headed. Because you're really of the world. You're caught up of the world, man. You can go to Starbucks. You can go to Timmy's. You can go to your little nightclubs. You can just be a filthy degenerate. And you feel like you don't have to answer for that. So in your mind, you're like, oh, the Lord has left this place. And I don't, he's not going to come back. Good luck, man. If you're thinking that way, good luck. So it says Putin declares he won't negotiate with Zelensky as Ukrainian leader has outlawed peace talks. Wow. In a huge development which significantly raises the stakes for any future potential Trump-backed negotiations related to seeking ceasefire in the Ukraine war. President Vladimir Putin has said that he won't negotiate with Ukraine so long as President Vladimir Zelensky is in power and on the other side of talks. If he wants to take part in negotiations, I will select such people. It's not an issue. The question is about the final signing of the documents, Putin said in a statement broadcast TV interview on Tuesday. He argued that because of canceled elections, Zelensky's legitimacy has expired, and this means he does not have the right to sign anything. Okay, interesting. Let's see what the article says. Let's read on. Early in the war, Zelensky had authorized a decree outlawing peace negotiations with Moscow. This happened in 2022. And there have not been direct engagements since, other than the UAE brokered POW swaps. It was actually Zelensky who long ago declared that it is Putin who is illegitimate, and that Ukraine will enter peace negotiations so long as Putin is in power. It appears the Russian leader is now using the same tactic to turn the table and create additional leverage at a moment Trump is pushing for talks and a final deal. But I thought you guys wanted peace. I thought you guys wanted to end the war. I thought you guys wanted all these things, and none of you guys are legitimate. You guys are both corrupt. Man, look at this guy, man. This guy is a devil, man. This guy is nothing but an oligarch, too. And look at his inner circle. Go study Vladimir Putin's inner circle. It's all KGB, it's all family, which is nepotism, and oligarchs. That doesn't sound too good, man, to have those people in your inner circle. This guy's nothing but an oligarch himself, and look how he rigged politics in his favor. That's why he's able to stay in power for so long. He's nothing but a dictator. And look at this guy. This guy's corrupt. I believe Ukraine is like the most corrupt country in Europe and one of the most corrupt countries in the world, and they rival these different impoverished African nations that are corrupt too. At least those African nations have an excuse to be corrupt, because they're impoverished and they get shit on all the time, right? But this guy's country is corrupt. It's a well-known fact that this guy is using the money for his own pleasure. The money that he's receiving in financial aid, the billions of dollars that America and NATO send over. Really, starting with America, they sent over $175 billion to the cause in Ukraine. And then it's a well-known fact that this guy's wife, with the money that they have received, she's using it to fly herself in private jets, using private airports to France and Switzerland. She planned like a ski trip in Switzerland, I believe, going to the Swiss Alps. Then she went to France to buy expensive clothing, expensive handbags, and things of that nature. And then it also came out with this guy's chief army psychiatrist. She received about $1 million, $1 million in U.S. cash, U.S. dollars, and then she used that money to build up apartment buildings. She bought a bunch of BMWs, and in one of her apartments, they found $150,000 of U.S. currency scattered all over the floor. Right? So they're corrupt, man. That place is full of corruption. None of these guys are legitimate. It reminds me of Revelation 13, going into the two-party system, which that is geared towards Rome and America on how they function. But it doesn't matter which side you choose. It's all controlled opposition. It doesn't matter if you choose this dude here, which is Vladimir Putin, or you choose Zelensky. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. Controlled opposition, man. Doesn't matter who you choose. Right? And the reason why I mentioned Revelation 13 is because that's how the different world's governments are trying to run things. It's usually through a party or two-party system, going into politics. So it's all rigged. It's all a game. It's all a game, man. Don't get caught up on who's legitimate and who's not, man. It's all rigged. And you know what it's rigged for? It's rigged so the Lord's word can prevail. It's for prophecy. All right, man. So it says, it appears the Russian leader is now using... Okay, I already read that. On the question of the final signing of the documents, there cannot be a single mistake or wrinkle. Everything must be polished, Putin emphasized. But Putin, in the fresh comments, did leave an opening. If there is a desire, any legal question can be resolved. So far, we simply don't see such a desire. from the Ukrainian side, Putin stressed. Essentially, Putin is saying Zelensky would have to move first to cancel the prior law banning talks with Putin's government. This could, by the way, the Kremlin slow playing Trump overtures, which are meant to encourage everyone to get to the negotiating table. Zelensky days ago claimed that Putin is trying to manipulate Donald Trump, according to a summary of the latest back and forth. All right, and you can see it here. So are they really about ending the war? You know, I don't know, man. They're not. They're not. And then this happened Tuesday, so the next day, Wednesday, which was yesterday, says here, flirting with World War III. Russia says nuclear plant targeted a massive Ukrainian drone attack. So Zelensky was talking about peace and ending the war, but then he goes on to send drones to attack Russia's biggest nuclear power plant. He attempted to, but they failed, right? And, you know, the way I think Vladimir Putin would respond to that attack, if it were to play out, and if especially if Ukraine was successful, I think he would have went nuclear. And that could have led to a World War III. So this is a rumor of World War III, a hot World War III. Because right now we're in a cold World War III. But it's going to become full-blown hot, where everybody shoots their missiles off and it's guns blazing and everybody gets involved. But this had potential, you know. So this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And that's why the title says, Flirting with World War III. Right? So yeah, these guys are not about peace. Through peace he shall destroy many. That's in Daniel the 8th chapter. Right? You know, they tried to they're acting like they were being civil, you know. Oh, it's peace talk negotiations. I'll send you who I need to send, you know, my ambassadors and things of that nature. And they don't do it, man. Really, war is in their heart, man. And it shows you who they are. They are the Edomites. Okay, they are the Edomites, man, and they rule with the sword. And they don't care about peace. Matter of fact, let me get that, man. Get a precept. Daniel 8:25. This is going into, I think this is Antiochus Epiphanes' fourth, I believe. But anyways, it says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Yeah, peace talks. Yeah, I want to be peaceful, and then this is what you do. You bomb a nuclear plant. You know, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. That's ultimately going to happen in the future. Prince of princes is Yahushua, man, and he's going to destroy them. He's going to break them. Yeah, he's that stone that was cut out the mountain without hands, you know. That's pursuing to Daniel the 2nd chapter. Stone that was cut out without hands, and he's going to smite that image. The image's legs and feet. He's going to break it into pieces, man. That's Yahushua. It's the Prince of Peace. But yeah, man, war is in this guy's heart. By peace, he shall destroy many. You have the nerve to talk about peace talks. But that's the Edomites. They rule the sword. And it says, this is Psalms 55 verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right. And he talked about it. He's like, yeah, we want to negotiate. Both of them are doing that. But they really want bloodshed. They really want to take over. All right. And it sounds smooth. It sounds good. Look how everything is look how everything is being written. Look at everything. Look at everything. Look at the summary. So I'll read a little bit of the summary. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin told reporters on Friday regarding negotiations. We have always said, and I want to emphasize this again, that we are ready for talks on the Ukrainian issue. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said in his evening address on Friday, Putin wants to manipulate the desires of the President of the United States of America to achieve peace. I'm confident that no Russian manipulations will succeed anymore. Institute for the Study of War said in a Russian offensive campaign assessment on Friday, Putin is once again attempting to obfuscate his unwillingness to participate in good faith negotiations to end the war by blaming Ukraine for defending itself against Russia's invasion and illegal annexation of Ukrainian territory. You see, man, so, hey, man, smoother than, what did it say? His words, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's all you're seeing there, man. Just trying to kill each other. Right. So let's go back here. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet true. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Yeah, man. See that? So these things have to come to pass in order for our Lord to come back and return. And these are signs that we are in the last days. Right? Because that's what the disciples asked him. When you go into verse 3, I'll read it. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So these are the signs that our Lord is coming back, and these are the signs that we are in the end of the world. We are at the end of the world, man. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, and we're seeing wars, rumors of wars, pestilences, different earthquakes. We're seeing famines. We're seeing all these bad things on the earth. So that's a sign that the Lord is on his way, and that we are at the end. We are in the last days. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Now let's go into Ezekiel chapter 38. Start at verse 2. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. That's right. Gawag Nashaya Ra'ash. Right? Gawag means mountain. Ra'ash means chief, and Nashaya means prince. Okay, so that's Russia today. And it says here, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, going into that great big army. And you got to remember, Russia was known as the USSR before 1991, before the USSR fell apart. And they lost a lot of power, man. They're still very powerful today, but they lost a lot of strength when they lost those Soviet states. There's a lot of countries that are no longer a part of the Soviet Union or a part of Russia anymore. And that being the Baltic states, especially. I think it's Lithuania, Estonia, and there's other ones. Lithuania, Estonia. There's another one. Forgot the other one's name, but yeah. But the hooks in the jaws mean they are going to come back in that old USSR spirit, right? Because Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, and they still feel that Ukraine belongs to Russia. They still feel that way. And Putin, he wants that back. He wants that territory. He believes it's rightfully his. He owns it. Right? He wants it back. So the whole world, what do I mean the whole world? I'm talking about NATO, is trying to stop this guy from getting power, from taking over. But this guy's very powerful in the scriptures. And he has a part in World War III. And putting that hooks into thy jaws obviously is going back into that old spirit. But that's going to reel them into World War III and shooting off them missiles. So don't sleep on this, man. This is World War III alert. Flirting with World War III, going into the times. Like I said, man, prophecy is always being fulfilled. Right? The Lord is moving. The Lord is moving. Right? So, hey, man, if this were to take place, man, this guy would have most likely shot off them nukes. But as you can see, this is Revelation, the 7th chapter playing out. The Lord holding back the four winds. Right? That's why he didn't allow it to go down the way we thought it was going to go down. This place being blown up. Now, anyways, let's get Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Yeah, and they're holding back the four winds of the earth, that destroying wind, destruction. Hey, man, destruction could have happened yesterday, man, if this went through. This guy could have shot off them nukes. But other prophecies have to be fulfilled. And that's another reason why the angels are holding back the four winds. Yes, it's because the elect has to be sealed, but also certain prophecies have to happen before nuclear war pops off too. Right? Certain things have to happen. Right? Certain chess moves have to be made. And that's just how the Lord wants it. Right? So it says, verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Pursuing to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, and the 4th verse. Going into the sealing. The sealing is the Thawa, the mark of exemption. Right? So yeah, man, hey, holding back the four winds, and this is just another case. This is the Lord holding back that destroying wind from allowing the largest nuclear power plant in Russia from being destroyed. Because that would have been catastrophic, man. That wouldn't look too good if that power plant were to be destroyed. It's not good. Not good. Here's another one. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. And it says, final admonition. So it's the final warning. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. This is Malachi prophesying of nuclear destruction that's going to take place in the future. Right? Talked about Jeremiah 28 and 8. Talks about how the prophets will prophesy against kingdoms and nations. Will prophesy of pestilence, war, and destruction, right? So this is what he's doing. And this is what the men of the Lord today, prophets, are doing. And they're coming out of the scriptures. So it says, for behold, the day cometh, thou shalt burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of armies, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Damn. Hear that? So yeah, that burn as an oven. It's talking about thermonuclear destruction. Burning and fuel of fire. That's how it's going to take place. Because that's how you're going to get 1,000,000-degree temperatures coming off of those missiles, coming off of that fire, because that's what the ICBMs are going to bring. 1,000,000-degree plus temperatures, man. It's going to melt everything. All the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's why it says shall burn as an oven. It's not talking about that oven that you have in your home, in your kitchen. That only goes up to 500 degrees. Okay. This is a different type of oven. This is a godly oven. A godly oven. A celestial oven. Alright? And the only one that's going to get you out of the fire, get you out of that oven, is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And you can read that in Daniel, man. With the holy children. Daniel and the 3 holy children. When they were thrown into the furnace, man. And the Lord had to intervene. He came and he saved them, man. The angel. Yeah, man. So, hey, the only one that's going to deliver you is the Lord. Divine intervention. If you're hoping for something else, man, you're on your own. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, this guy's going to come down with great wrath. And these leaders that are in power, these globalists, man, and the ones they have set up to push the red button, man, hey, they're coming down with great wrath. You need to be delivered from that wrath. The only way you can be delivered is through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Good luck. Good luck if you don't have them. Good luck. Alright, so with that, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, GMS, that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you I say Shalom. And shalom unto the hopeful elect. Kwame Shalom. Shalom.